So today we are going to be reacting to Bleacher Report's mock draft after 1 month. I think we did a couple of, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we reacted to their first mock draft. And we're going to be just reacting to every company's mock drafts throughout the year. Obviously, this is not the biggest deal in the world. Like, college ball is college ball. Like, we'll know more coming up towards the tournament. And we're going to know more through the combine, through workouts, stuff like that. And seeing what teams need and stuff. But it is always an interesting one to look at mock drafts now. It's an interesting one to then look back on these type of mock drafts later on in the year, because realistically, that's just the way basketball is. News changes, the way people's opinions are of things always change. And if you guys are interested, subscribe. We're going to be uploading more NBA type content than anywhere else on this channel. We're trying to hit 3.75k by the end of the day. We are 95 off. And lads, if you guys don't know, we are... Well, sometimes it's not going to be the highest quality, not going to be the highest edited stuff, but you know what? The trade-off for that is you'll get more anywhere else. If you guys want the high edited stuff, you can go somewhere else. There's plenty of places for that. If you guys just want the most NBA stuff on, or just men's basketball stuff in general, we'll cover it all on this channel. But first up is obviously Cooper Flagg going number 1 to what should realistically be the Sixers at this stage. This is obviously 2 or 3 days ago. But Cooper Flagg, obviously. And he was really good against Kentucky. And yeah, I get it. He kind of turned it over. Like, he was still, like, got them into the game up to that point. I think I don't like the Kurolenko comparison. I think he's too good on offense. Like, I get it. It's just comparing a white guy to a white guy, but I think he's a Kurolenko. They compare it to Kurolenko because he just does it all on defense. I think Cooper Flagg's almost like a player we've never seen before, because he doesn't have a flaw, really. He's a good passer. He's got high IQ. I think he's a really, really good player. And it's just an iffy shooter. That is the problem. But fair enough, AK on defense, but he's a way better offensive player than AK. Then Ace Bailey to the Wizards. So with Ace Bailey, and is he 6'10" though? Comparison Brandon Miller, you know what? Fair enough. The only thing about Ace Bailey though is he really struggles to create anything that isn't a difficult shot. Like, he doesn't get easy shots. Like, he's a really good tough shot maker, but from what I've seen, like, he doesn't have much of a handle, especially like at the college level. His handle looks only okay. So at the NBA level, it's going to look poor. But one thing he is good at is just rising up above guys and hitting shots in their face. Like, that is the one thing he is really, really good at. So I will say, when it comes to an Ace Bailey, at the minute, yeah, I'm cool with him going 2, but he is a flat-out gunner who doesn't really create that much separation. I still think he's going to be really nice, though. He'll be really good. Dylan Harper going to the 76ers third. If the 76ers have the third pick, there is a 0% chance they're going to draft Dylan Harper. I mean that. There is a 0% chance. He's a big point guard, and, like, he scores. Like, why would you need that when you have Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey there? But Dylan Harper's scoring ability is carried right over from high school. He's generating offense using off the dribble. He was able to carry Rutgers in the second half in a tight game against St. Peter's. But I think Dylan Harper doesn't have as many physical gifts as Ace Bailey. I like Harper over Bailey, though. Like, I know that might be a bit of a surprising take. I do like Harper over Bailey. And he's a do-it-all point guard. I think he's going to come in and average double digits. And then, comparison. What white guy did I compare Egor Demin to? What white dude did I compare him to? He's the only Utah. Jalen Rose. You know what? They did not compare white guy to white guy. I like it. But, like, he's a 6'9" point guard. He is more so a point guard than a shooting guard small forward. I think he looks really, really good. And he can shoot the ball a little bit. Josh Giddey with a jump shot is a decent enough comparison. But, like, he's legit 6'9", 6'10". He can handle the ball. He can pass the ball really well. The one thing was, though, is, like, I wasn't that, like, super duper high on him at Real Madrid. Like, I watched him play a little bit, like, in the Next Generation tournament. Like, and at times was it for the B team at times, but he just seemed to me like Hugo Gonzalez just outclassed him. Anytime I saw them both on the floor at the same time. At the same time, the physical gifts though, like you're not like this is players a unicorn. You will not find a 6'9" guy who with the like IQ of him, the ability to play to one, and he has a high floor. I do think he's got a high floor. I think he would have probably played a little bit. He would have gone a little bit with a burn with Madrid this year. Not a crazy amount, but I still think he like he would have gotten that burn. But again, like he was brilliant in the Next Generation final. But he's a 6'9", fluid-moving athlete who can run the show from the one. I think that these players don't really exist. And it's one of those things where it's like, is it that he's able to play point guard at lower level? Because we can't forget, Matas Buzelis came in as a point guard to the Ignite, and he just couldn't play the point guard at that level. So I'm not that high on him. I think his ceiling is through the roof, but I also think that his floor is quite low, so I wouldn't take him in the top 5. You even got Edgecombe. Edgecomb's just freak athlete. Like, he's not playing particularly well at Baylor. He's just a freakishly freak athlete. And it would be interesting to see where he goes. I really liked him playing for the Bahamas. I thought he was fantastic. I would take him over Demin. But you've got a mixed start for Edgecombe, though the negatives aren't setting off any alarms. He's already looks like on track to be tagged draft's top athlete. Obviously he is. Like he ended the career of the coach's son against, was it Gonzaga? His 3-point shot has been off. He's iffy shooter. I don't think he's a bad shooter, but he's an iffy shooter. He's also flash bonus, passing with 15 assists. Some of them highlighting promising processing and willingness to look for teammates. The reality is he is a freak athlete. He comes to the NBA and he is one of, I think he walks in. He almost reminds me of like, do you guys remember in 2014 when Zach LaVine came in and everyone was just kind of in agreement that the day he stepped foot in the NBA, he was already the most athletic player in the NBA? Like this is, like he reminds me of almost like Zach LaVine in college. Trey Johnson, in fairness, Trey Johnson is hoping for Texas. Like Cam Thomas, Scout Report says Trey Johnson looks the same as the other summer. Only is executing an incredible rate with highly convincing fluidity and skill. 14 24 from 3. And like he's just a bucket. He is a bucket. Knueppel 7. I don't like first of all, where like no Nolan Traore. No Nolan Traore yet is a bit concerning because I think Nolan Traore is a better point guard prospect than Demin. But Knueppel, I mean, he shoots the ball. Would I, in this deep a draft, take Knueppel as a 7th pick? No, but he shoots well. He shoots the ball. Pro comparison. They did the thing. They compared a white guy to a white guy. I still can't believe they haven't compared every white guy to a white guy. Like, he got the Jalen Rose comparison. You know Demin could be good when he gets the non-white guy comparison as a white guy. There's enough evidence to see of his elite shooting for scouts to look past the off night he had from deep against Kentucky. He was able to show self-creation, driving, and tough defense. Area skills scouts were less confident due to his athletic limitations. I don't think he's unathletic though. Like, I think this is like, sneaky athleticism. I don't think he's unathletic. I don't think he's like VJ Edgecombe athlete, but I don't think he's unathletic. But I still don't know taking him at 7. To be fair though, after what we've seen with like likes to connect and stuff, and so many shooters, if you can shoot, you can play. I really like Maluach. I really, really like Maluach. I think that he is your prototypical pogo stick, lob catching big. And the funny thing is like the game adjusts, the game evolves, and we've seen with the Mavs that those like roll with, and Derek Lively, that those like roll to the basket dunking bigs. Like, you don't need to be able to shoot the ball if you can basically guarantee every single thing around the basket you are scoring. So I think really like Maluach for that. I think he's an unbelievable shot blocker, and he's young. Pro comparison, Alex Sarr, not even close. Alex Sarr does not play with any sort of motor whatsoever. Alex Sarr is a center who doesn't want to be a center. He wants to be a 2 guard. Alex Sarr is closer to Andrea Bargnani than anything else. Like, Alex Sarr does not want to do what he's good at. I know he can block shots, but he reminds me more of Bargnani than Maluach. He's a no, he moves too well for Bargnani. He can dribble the ball. He's a modern day Bargnani, a 7 foot tall guy with 2 guard skills that refuses to be a 7 foot tall guy. He's like if Wembanyama was 5 inches smaller. Either way, Maluach is different. I really like Maluach. Like, he's got such good reach. He's freaky athletic. Like, he blocks shots. I don't like him to Charlotte. I like Nolan Traore. Don't like him to Charlotte. Pro comparison, Lonzo Ball. Maybe. Like, he's big. He's a big point guard. I think he's been good this year. Like, 12 points, 5 assists in Pro A and Champions League is nothing to like laugh at. Like, they're better numbers than Risa Shea was putting up last year. And the reality is he's probably the best French guard we've seen in a long time. Like, he's a lot better than Killian Hayes was coming out of college. And he could be a really nice player. I think a good pick at 9. The Spurs select Liam McNeeley. Okay. McNeeley is giving UConn exactly what he gave Montverde. A simple off-ball game. McNeeley hasn't shown much creating. NBA teams don't acknowledge this. That he'll never be a high-used player, though. In fairness, the Spurs don't really need that. Like, if he can play with off-ball shooting, that's fine. And, like, Liam McNeeley, can you find your Irish passport, please? Like, our men's national team, we're currently playing against Azerbaijan today. And we're playing Kosovo Sunday. Like, we're probably going to lose some of those games. Is there any chance you can find your Irish passport by Sunday? Actually, to be fair, our naturalised player is Neil Quinn, who's a baller. So, either way, though, Liam McNeeley, if you can find your Irish passport by Sunday, that would be great. Him and your man Khaman Maluach, they have to be Irish. Noah Esengu, he's playing really well for Ulm. He's actually playing really, really well. Again, they are a team that always will play their young players. They're one of the best teams. They played Dadier and Juan Nunez last year. But he's got good length, decent enough player. Jabari Walker, Precious Achua. I'm sorry, if his comparison is Precious Achua, you're not taking this man with the 11th pick. Then we got Khaman Maluach. Again, if you can find your Irish passport, that would be great. But he's like, I do think he's a very, very, very solid player. 6'7" power forward, doesn't shoot. Still, I don't know. Like, not shooting can be a big problem, but if you're good enough, you can get away with it. Still, though, it's hard. I don't think he's going to end up being a lottery pick by the end of it. Then you got Buggy Fland from Arkansas. Pro comparison, Darius Garland. I mean, S-tier name. Buggy Fland is a great name. 70 assists through 3 games. So he's a scoring guard, I guess. Asa Newell for the Hawks. The end of the lottery. I mean, he could be a nice big. And like but the problem is the Hawks don't. Actually, they kind of do need a big if they want to get off. What's their names? If they want to get off, Clint Capella, he could be a nice backup to Onyeka Okongwu. Like, wouldn't be too bad. You got Drake Powell going to the Thunder from North Carolina. Pro comparison, Herb Jones. I mean, if you can get a Herb Jones type player, yeah, really, really solid. Ben Saraf, I think he is, like, if the Spurs somehow get him at 16, I think of all the players, he could really go up in the draft. Because of the 2 guys that are playing for Ulm, he's been way better. Like, he's been way better. Like, he's obviously, pro comparison is Manu Ginobili. He's from Israel. But he is, like, superb. Like, he's absolutely superb. So, like, the way he's been playing in Europe is crazy. So I'm just going to bring up his stats right here. So he has been putting up in Euro Cup, which is, again, similar enough level to the Basketball Champions League. Like, he's putting up 14 a game. 14 and 6 assists. Like, his numbers are better than Nolan Traore's. And he's 18 years old. He'll just turn 19 by the time of the draft. So I think he is a guard that should be pushing into that top 10. He's crafty. He can score. He can pass. I really like him as a player. Hugo Gonzalez is a bucket. I don't know how well he's going to translate, though, because I don't know how much. Has he played at all for Real Madrid this year? It was like, obviously, him and what's his name were teammates. Him and Egor Demin were teammates last year. Hugo Gonzalez was the better player from what I saw. And, like, he's not playing much. Like, he played 3 games last year in the for Real Madrid. This year in EuroLeague. He's actually getting some burn. Like, he's averaging less than a point a game. But it's EuroLeague. He's actually getting some burn. But he probably should have gone down the college route. Because I think if he was playing NCAA, he'd be a top 10 pick guaranteed. His man's crafty as heck. Compared to Jonathan Kuminga, he hasn't scored in 3 games or lodged double-digit minutes in 3 games. These things can likely change during Real Madrid's long season. But, like, you got to look at who Real Madrid's team is. Like, they are so stacked. Like, Real Madrid are an NBA team. Like, they're a 35-win NBA team. Like, they are that good. Like, you might be saying, oh, these guys, a lot of them tried and failed the NBA. But it's like, they did when they were younger. They're way better now. But, like, you've got Campazzo, who, again, he's just a bit too small for the NBA, but is still legit. You've got Hugo Gonzalez, obviously a young player. Hazonia could still very easily be playing in the NBA. Jenan Musa could still easily be playing in the NBA. Usman Garuba could still easily be playing in the NBA. Ibaka, again, could be playing in the NBA. Again, no crazy NBA players. They still got Eddie Tavares, who, with no defense at 3 seconds, the key being 7'3" is huge. And Sergio Yul. So they still have, like, this is a 30-win NBA team. So him not getting too much burn when wins matter is not the end of the world. But still, I don't really see Jonathan Kuminga really in him. I see more Manu in him than I see Kuminga in him. Then you got Thiero for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who else is there? Is there any interesting ones here? Okay, him at 21 makes more sense. Like, I genuinely had seen him be mocked at like 11. Jakushionis. Like, I've seen him be mocked at like top 10. I'm like, no. I get it. He's a long wing. But, come on. He was not doing that well in Europe, went to college, and has been fine for Illinois. He's just big. Will Riley going to the Magic. Also from Illinois. Any, okay, this, I've not really seen much about him. Noah Penda. But I will say that he looks like he's got long arms. French, obviously, again. Are France just gonna... Are they just gonna take over basketball or something? Like, how's he doing in Pro A? But I will say the Pro A is the single best. If outside of... Like, it's not the best league, but Pro A is without question the best... like, preparation for the NBA. It's the closest league to the NBA, including NCAA. Rocco, where is he from? Brisbane. Oh, yeah, Jesus, I forgot about him. The giant Australian dude. Oh, he's in this year's draft? Rocco Zikarsky. Anticipation's been building for his draft eligibility. There's been significant hype and flashes of skill at 16, 17 years old. Now 18. He's been stuck on the bench early for Brisbane. He's totaled 3 field goals. He's huge, though. He's huge. Again, like I've seen for years, it's just been about this huge Australian guy. I'm trying to think, is there anyone else that's really an interesting player? Alex Caraban going 30. Dink Pate. So it's another like Croatian center for Juventud. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Where is the dude? Oh, what's his name? Alex Tui. He's Australian, isn't he? Yeah. Tyrese Proctor at 37 is interesting. Where is the guy? He was expected to go last year. He was the World Cup MVP. He was meant to be like the end of the first round. And he was the 2023 World Cup MVP. Izan Almansa. Like, he went to G League Ignite. He's playing in the NBL right now. So is he not projected to go in the draft? He pulled out at the very end of it. Well, he's meant to drop to 42. Was he not supposed to be a first-round pick last year? Zvonimir Ivicic, he could... I don't know what it is about him. Like, man's 7'2" and shoots the absolute shit out of the ball. So, like, I actually kind of like him as a second-round pick. Because, like, there was rumors of him, wasn't there, going, like, top 10 last year at one stage. When he started off getting burned for Kentucky, there was rumors of him going top 10. But him as a second round, if you can get him as a second rounder, he's probably not going to do much. But if he could reach that potential, fair enough. Any other interesting players down near the bottom? No Bryce James this year? Can we get Bryce James just coming out of high school, I guess? Adama Alphabal is a great name. That is a great name too. And then a Serbian guy projected to go 60, playing for Mega. Oh my god. There's a Serbian player from Mega whose first name is not Nikola. We've had Nikola Jurisic, Nikola Topic, Nikola Jokic, Nikola Jovic. We finally have a woman that doesn't have the name Nikola. But anyway, yeah, this is the Bleacher Report 2025 mock draft.